Greetings, YouTube. No, I'm not pretending to be from the Assassin's Creed game. I've got a cat behind my head. I have a subscriber ask me a question about a post-apocalyptic setting that he is working on. He's trying to come up with a scenario that has the feel of the 50s with the apocalypse tacked onto it. But he wants things like giant robots and big clunky computers, and while he could come up with an entirely original setting, which is basically what he plans on doing, he's referencing Fallout, I think Fallout 2 in particular, a series that I've never played, but have heard good things about it. He's looking for inspirational material, and when I thought about this, the first thing that came to mind for me was BioShock. At least the first one. I watched a playthrough of it. Not because he wants to emulate BioShock directly, but the whole concept that the writers of that video game were able to take that era and then tack on these much bigger, over-the-top things, and yet have it all fit into a context that made sense within the setting itself. It didn't matter that it made no sense whatsoever, the city in BioShock made zero sense, but it had a consistent theme and appearance, and it made sense within its own little universe that it had created. In some pocket universe out there where the impossible could happen on a daily basis, BioShock is real. So he's looking for inspiration for a 50s era style post-apocalyptic setting that has the big clunky robots and big clunky computers, that doesn't lose that 50s era Americana, but has other things attached. And I've got to tell you, I'm coming up blank for inspiration. I've been thinking about it for a couple of weeks now, I think, and I'm just not coming up with anything. So I'm putting a call out to the RPG community here on YouTube, see if any of you have any ideas. Also, it got me thinking, would you ever consider running a 50s era post-apocalyptic setting if it was based on the real world? So we'll say we know we used the bomb in 45, and we're going to jump forward and say 57. It's my favorite number. In 57, the nations that possess nuclear weapons at that point have an all-out nuclear war. It just, everything that's currently available is used, and the world as we know it collapses. So we'll jump forward to 1977 or 1987. Would you be willing to run a post-apocalyptic setting in that scenario? And if you were willing to run it, how would you run it? Would you have lots of freaky mutations? Would you do a full-blown, wild, wacky Gamma World setting? Or would it be ramped back to more like something with more realism than Darwin? Or pushed back even further, I don't know, would you be essentially running Aftermath or the Morrow Project? So, these two questions I've got out there. How would you do a kind of over-the-top 50s post-apocalyptic setting? And how would you do a more realistic 50s era post-apocalyptic setting?